Hey, Bobby,
It's always fun.
do you have the time?
Yeah. It's 5:03. Why?
Well, that's weird because I keep looking at my watch and it keeps saying that it's time for the Frying Pan Podcast.
Oh, you.
Oh, I come in with the humdingers, as the kids are saying.
Steven, cue the laugh track.
Oh no, don't do that, please.
Also get the ejector seat ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to the Frying Pan Podcast. It's me, your lovable host, Daniel Manuel in the Panuel Sear, and I'm here with my bright and bubbly partner in crime, co-host
Robert Lemon Lime D'Onofrio, because I'm so cool going down your throat. Wait.
That's weird. You're
Yeah.
weird. But you know what?
No.
It's okay. We're not editing that out.
We're sticking with it, folks. How's it going?
I'm doing well, buddy. How are you doing on this fine day?
I am doing okay. I decided to not attend my first class of the day today.
I'm telling the principal. And
Funny
he's
enough,
gonna do it.
It was an 11 a.m. as well, so I had no excuses.
What's wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what?
Well, let me give you the old rundown.
Give it
okay?
to me. Hit me.
So, last night I was going to bed with a pretty strong headache, but it was one of those, oh, I could just be, very tired,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at, probably 7:30, which is around when my first alarm goes off, even if I have an 11 a.m., just because I like to keep my body somewhat consistent of when it wakes up.
Understandable.
So, alarm goes off, and it sounds like, instead of an alarm, the normal, iPhone default alarm sound, it just felt like I was getting hit in the head with a brick.
I understand that.
So, I was like, okay, I woke up still with a headache. That's great. So, obviously I wasn't just because I was tired, so I went, chugged a shitload of water, sauced myself some Motrin or, aspirin.
The goods.
Yeah. And then went back to sleep. I forgot to set another alarm. So I woke up at then 9:30, which is still pretty. It's still like I could get there. I could definitely get there. So wake up at 9:30. I'm feeling a lot better, but at the same time, I convinced myself I didn't feel good enough to get out of bed just yet. Just yet.
Okay.
Lay in bed for another hour. It's about 10:30. I guess I'll start getting ready. And I just dragged that out so long that I'm like, oh, my class starts in 10 minutes. Guess I missed it today.
You are special.
Well, I was still productive with my time, so my next class was at 12:30, so I just, threw some laundry on, ate some breakfast for once, and then headed on to school.
Well, as long as you did something. I mean, school's just kind of useless entirely at this point, right?
Well, I mean, it's more like the teachers kind of give you an out when they give you their syllabus, and it tells you specifically what you're doing on, the certain day.
Oh, that's
so it's
true.
like, let me take a peek at the syllabus. Oh, what's that? A group discussion about something that you give no shits about? Guess I'm not going to class today.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was gonna say, if you're not getting the syllabus, then you're just wasting your money, is the way skipping college kind of seems to be. But I wouldn't know because I'm uneducated.
Well, I guess it really depends on if your teacher grades on participation. Because, even if I skip class, because most of the work is, on Blackboard online, I still submit most of my shit,
Yeah, as long as you're passing, that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, it's going to pass me on to an early grave because school sucks.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Go on, Donnie! Where you going?
Go on. But that's enough about me, because I'm here now. How about you? How's your day? You worked
Of course
today?
I work. I work every weekday, and it's the same as every day. I go to work, go to the gym, come home, and that's all there is to it.
How was the
But
gym? I heard you couldn't walk when you got
oh,
home.
I did legs and I was very tired. But it's okay because we persevere and we do it to better ourselves. But enough of days. I feel like we just kind of say the same things every time. So I'm introducing a new part to the podcast, and it's
Oh,
my positivity corner, where we're going to say two things that we're thankful for at this moment in life. How you feeling
God,
about that?
can I veto that just because it's dangerously close to what my family's trying to start when we have our little like dinners?
Can't veto it. You
Uh,
can't
I'm
escape
gonna
positivity forever, Bobby. You got to open
see.
up.
I'm not against the positivity, but I'm also against the saying too happy things needlessly.
Well, what's so needless about it? It sets a good tone.
Cause it's forced, Daniel.
How is
It's
it
forced.
forced?
I should, if I'm not coming in here giving you something positive, then you should just assume that I'm a negative. I don't,
Negative Nancy.
I can talk about my weekend, which was really positive because the boys were there, you were there.
I was there. Sure. Start us off with a nice little weekend. We had a good
All
one.
right, folks, it's anecdote time. So yeah, so young Daniel and I went to stay the weekend at our friend Tyler's house. Now you may be thinking that's a little weird. You might be a little old to be having weekend long sleepovers.
Hold on. Wait, I'm going to cut in right there. If you ever think there's an age where you're too old for slumber parties,
You're wrong.
you died as a child long ago.
Mm.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So, yeah, like I was saying, if you think that's a little weird, well, you're in the wrong because we value our friendships and do everything we can to stay close together in this day and age where everyone's going to separate colleges and walking different parts of life. So we
Amen.
take the time that we can.
Agreed.
Anyways, moving on. So we spent the weekend at Tyler's. Friday was nice. We went to a restaurant that I've never been to called Longhorn Steakhouse. I think it's one of those chain restaurants,
I'm pretty sure it's a chain
right?
restaurant. I
I'm
mean,
convinced it's a chain because I'm almost certain I've heard of like a commercial for it.
yeah, we can get Steven
But
on that maybe someday in the future, but it's not that important.
it's arbitrary.
Yes.
Regardless, went there for the first time. Actually, not bad. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Walked out into a freaking monsoon, which was nice after the restaurant. It was pouring out of nowhere and thundering and lightninging and all that jazz.
See this? I gotta intervene a little bit because I I took the liberty of driving because I cherish my friends and I would hate to see them waste their gas money. But
Well,
we get up.
gas money aside, folks, Dan's a great driver.
Oh,
I just like to go on record saying that.
oh,
Dan is the
stop.
designated driver because he is just the overall best driver.
Oh, stop it. But anywho, we get in the restaurant. Nice little night. It was like 60, and I was like, this is good. So I just got a t-shirt and some pants on. You know, we're going light, just casual. And
Don't forget the moccasins you had on.
oh yeah, because I forgot that I had moccasins on. Because I didn't know we were going there originally, and people were kind of dressed a little nicer. I wasn't. But anyways, we ate our meal. Took a little while. I'm gonna have to say, Longhorn Steakhouse speed it up a little bit next time. But we get out. I look outside. Absolutely monsooning. Beautiful. People are waiting for it to stop raining, and I'm like, heck no, dudes. I'm going for it. It's lightning too, so I'm bobbing and weaving through the raindrops, dodging all of them because just what can I say?
Actually, factually speaking, you get more wet running than you do walking.
You do, but here's the thing: I don't mind being wet, and in that case, It was basically like I jumped in a pool. It was raining
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, you were quite moist when we
Oh,
found you.
not a fan of moist. Well, you ran with me. You ran after me. Originally, I was like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna bring the car around for you," and then you were like, "Fuck that!" And then I heard like a locomotive behind me. I'm like, "There's no trains near me." And I turn around and it's you running at the speed of light, and I'm like, "Oh shit! If this guy doesn't slow down, he's gonna dent my car." So
Well,
I had to pull the e-brake on you, and you were like, "Thanks, bud." Yeah.
let me tell you the reasoning. It's like we were parked at the far end of the restaurant. It's a decent run in terms of in the rain. And you know me, if my friend gets shot, I'm not going to jump in front of the bullet, but I'll shoot myself in the foot just so we can both, have a bullet wound together.
I appreciate that.
It's all about sharing and suffering.
Sharing and suffering. I agree. But you want to continue on our weekend?
Yeah, yeah. So we're wet. We get home and we play some video games, folks. Once again, may seem childish. It's our hobby. It's our hobby.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that. We play games, have a great time. We pop off. I'm just gonna leave that up in the air. There is a few substances involved.
It's an alley-oop. You can slam it home whichever way you'd like.
Yeah, we go a little hard.
Mm.
Next day, we wake up all feeling good. We go and get coffee. We get lunch. People go to the gym. And then night 2 resumes. Pretty much the same thing as night 1. Into Sunday. And I left Tyler's house feeling somehow hungover. But
I felt... I didn't even drink, but I felt like death. Just because the food we ate was not that healthy
at all. No, I don't think I ate a single vegetable besides my dinner at Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah.
That entire weekend. And my body hated me for it Sunday.
Yeah, the only thing I ate was the broccoli that was in my Chinese food for Saturday night.
Yeah, it was brutal. On top of it, Chinese. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was a little 1-2 punch to the colon.
So besides spending time with my friends, that's the one positive thing. And your number 2, since you asked for 2, is that when I finally got home, I was just able to appreciate that I could take that same interaction with my friends and change it up a little and still be able to enjoy it because we have the glorious thing called the internet.
Woohoo!
And we can resume playing games and all that just as we were before, still in the company of our friends, but in our own house. So that just made me happy when I came to that realization. So that's 2 positive things.
I like that. I'm glad you were able to force it out.
Yeah. Jeez, my skin started turning black towards the end.
I know, I'm just joshing with you. Don't worry about it. 2 positive... Oh, sorry. Did you have something?
Okay. No. Okay, you can say your positive things.
Okay.
First.
All right, well... My number 1 positive was I was really looking forward to doing the podcast today. I don't know what it is, but I have a lot of fun doing this, shooting the shit with my friend. And
of course.
I don't know. I just look forward to Tuesdays for it. And I
agree. It's a nice way to kick off the week after Monday.
I agree. I mean, I will say Wednesdays are nice, but I don't like editing that much. But it's fine. Someone has to do it. But my other thing was that I don't know. I've just been a lot happier lately.
Well, okay, that's a pot. I was actually about to go in on you for not having 2 prepared, but that's a good one overall.
No, I just have so many that I don't know which ones I want to share with the world, you know?
Well, I mean, I kind of took I took a decent one from recent memory from you.
That's fine. That's okay.
That's okay.
You sounded like you want to intervene before I shared my positive things. What did you
No, I just remembered something is all.
Oh. Nothing to share,
you
just something personal.
Well, you know what it was, is we had a new segment towards the end of last episode. And it's essentially 2 truths and a lie, but I haven't thought of a snappy name to call it yet for this purpose.
Oh, I was thinking for we could do our positivity corner weekly called Sunny Side Up, like the eggs.
Ooh, that's a nice name for it. Okay. Comment down below if you like that name. But yeah, circling back, we at the end of the last episode, I read out 3 statements. Your job as the co-person to that segment.
The co.
I didn't think I could. I meant to say I was gonna say the subjectee
participant.
Yeah, that's a good word. But I was like, huh.
Yeah,
that word is fleeting from my mind. What is it?
Hey,
anyways,
fine. That's fine.
So I read you these statements. Number 1 being that if you knock your tooth out and put it back in the socket, it will grow its roots back and save the tooth. Number 2, having 6 fingers is actually a dominant trait, but the genes for it are so incredibly rare that it pretty much never happens. And the third one is bubbles have a seam. You chose the second one.
I chose fingies.
Yeah, you did. And I hate to break it to you, but that statement was also true. The false statement was bubbles have seams.
Really?
Yeah, bubbles don't have seams. Now, it's kind of interesting to why that's believable, and I think that extends to like kind of the. It's one of those things where you probably never like seen a seam on a bubble, but it's like, oh
Well,
well,
my thought
okay.
process was what? My thought process was I've seen like slow motion videos of bubbles popping, and they always like pop at a certain point, and I'm like, oh, that's the
Hmm.
seam where like they divide. But
Yeah, negative.
all right, so you're telling me I could have had 6 fingers, but whatever almighty being said I can only have 5?
Well, okay, so the gene to have 6 fingers exists. Like it's an isolated gene, just like the way if you have the ginger gene, there's a possibility of it, coming out if it's met with another recessive ginger gene to be, dominated over the other one.
Okay.
So in this case, having 6 fingers is the dominant gene. So it could emerge regardless of what your other genes are, basically. Right?
Okay.
That's what the dominant gene means.
All right.
But that gene is so incredibly rare, it's just very unlikely that it was even on the table based off your, lineage, I guess would be the best, like your family history.
Okay. All right, that,
So
that makes sense.
possible. It's possible.
All right.
But yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what was the first one
So
again?
the first one was if you stick a tooth back in its socket, it will regrow the roots.
Okay. Yeah, that one I knew. That one I was on board with.
Yeah. So bubbles don't have seam, folks, and if you got that right, good job for you. And if you didn't, well, that's kind of the nature of the game now. So yeah, hopefully we'll continue doing that. I kind of enjoyed looking up random facts and then trying to come up with false facts that sound realistic.
I love random facts.
I do as well.
Always a fun time. Hey, you want to know a random fact?
Sure, hit me with it.
Harry Potter.
Harry
Apparently
Potter.
Dumbledore and Grindelmuffin, whatever the fucking dude's name was, they had an intense sexual relationship according to J.K. Rowling.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna go out on not on a limb, but I'm gonna be explicit and say I feel like I just got shot in the nutsack hearing that.
I I think J.K. Rowling just needs to stop. I think she's trying
Well,
to
it's
secure she's trying to secure as many brownie points as she can with the LGBTQ community, it seems. And
well,
I think she's fine. I think she's done her part.
I hope like at the end of all this, like, because she has had a history of just posting like little tidbits of the Harry Potter universe and
Just
adding on to it.
just bullshit. Just absolute
Bullshit, just
bullshit.
absolute
I
bullshit.
love it.
We've talked about it actually before on the podcast, I think.
Yeah, very briefly, but every time she says some shit like this, we're covering it because I love it.
I hope that they get like progressively more explicit and just like what are you doing? And then she's like, "It's in my name, J.K. Rowling."
And then
Ha! Just kidding.
and then
Like
like
I mean,
whatever little fans she has left are just like, that's a good one. That's really good.
we actually talked about J.K. Rowling adding shit onto the Harry Potter universe through her Twitter account in the friends group.
Hmm.
And everyone kind of came to the consensus, except for me, and I remember it except for me, that she can do what she wants. But after that discussion, like, it was like she can do what she wants. Like, if she's saying it through Twitter, that means it's canon. Everyone agreed with that. I disagreed. After doing extensive research, there's this thing called the death of the author thing. I forget exactly what it's called, but essentially what it is after the book is published, unless in a sequel to the book, the author goes back and adds these things, no matter what he or she says, it's not canon unless it's in another book that's
Okay.
part of that same like fandom, so to speak.
Well, I'm happy that you did your extensive research.
Well, it wasn't really extensive. It was just more like I couldn't accept that being canon just because she tweeted it. Is more or less because I grew up reading the Harry Potter books, man, and like I'm not opposed to Hermione being black or Dumbledore being gay or wizards whipping away their
Oh,
excrement
that's
through
my
magic.
favorite. Where they're like, Yeah, they didn't have toilets back in, so they just got rid of their shit. But it seemed more humane to just poop in a toilet. And I'm thinking, like, there's. It's you're fucking wizards. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, JK. It
Well, it's
doesn't
just more like that's
matter.
arbitrary. Like what she have too many Chardonnays and was just like, yo, wizard shit like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she just gets wine drunk, and then she's like, just somebody take her phone away. Don't let her tweet.
Regardless, for any of you out there that can't accept her Twitter as being canon, look up the death of the author, and essentially, I already explained what it is. Just it's not canon, folks. Her Twitter's not canon. Don't be alarmed. You can still have your childhood preserved and not be tainted through potentially drunk Twitter tweets.
Yeah. It's like, I remember our whole thing is like, I don't give a fuck what she says. Like, I don't give a shit if Dumbledore's gay. It's just like, it's so unnecessary, and it doesn't matter. We've been done.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's more like she's. I don't want to say it's like a publicity thing, but it probably is. If anything, it definitely is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's 100% out there for brownie points with millennials, and it's like,
yeah,
you keep doing it, JK. No one cares. But
I care. I care.
I care enough to talk about it, but I don't care enough to tweet at JK Rowling, I guess. Well, it's just,
yeah.
I don't get it. I think it's funny though. But what I do like is she revealed, here, I'm gonna get a little ASMR for this one for you, Bobby. You ready?
Please, are you gonna be reading the new installment of the fucking fanfare that's this?
Just a little bit, but
Oh, great, hear me.
Dumbledore and Grindelwald had an incredibly intense love relationship, and she believes that there was a sexual dimension to this relationship.
Kill me.
You know, you gotta love it. I'm okay with dudes fucking dudes, but I'm not okay with
her adding these to the Twitter through Twitter.
I'm not okay with Grindelwald because that movie was awful.
Yeah, I still have not seen was it Fantastical Beasts or whatever?
Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Who's Johnny Depp? And Johnny Depp hits his wife. So
that was actually false.
No, apparently, yeah, I heard it was like, oh no, his wife abused him, but I'd imagine it was pretty mutual. Tough to say. I'm not their kid.
So I'm actually, because we talked about this in the past on podcast as well, Johnny Depp allegedly hitting his wife, and I kind of wanted to talk about it when it came up, because this is one of those cases where, yes, you have to, go with like the female's word in it because it's all about safety, the number one thing, right? But everyone wrote him. Not I want to say everyone because it didn't actually gain much traction, but a lot of people wrote him off instantly as a scumbag. Like, what happened to him? He used to be great.
Well, the thing is with Johnny Depp is he's always been a douchebag, so it's not hard to believe it. That was the main thing.
Well, the thing is, it actually came out that he was abused by his wife or girlfriend or whatever through security footage, first-hand accounts by their bodyguards, and people on retainer, and even friends of them as well came out to say that she physically and verbally abused him.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure how much truth there is, but that did come out, and I thought it was worth just stating that even if I know we're not that big, but if people say like, "Oh, did you hear about so and so did this?" There's still potential for innocence. All I'm saying is prioritize the safety of the other individual and just wait and see how much truth actually comes of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it was sad to think that my Pirates of the Caribbean guy freaking was a scumbag.
That's the thing is he is a scumbag because this isn't like this isn't like the first thing he's done. Like Johnny Depp has a history of just being a douchebag. Well,
you're saying this isn't the first thing, but he didn't is the key.
I know. I'm just saying like this is the most recent thing or like the biggest thing, but he's always been a douchebag, so that's why it's believable.
Oh,
allegedly.
Regardless, point being.
Regardless,
it's not true.
Dumbledore and Johnny Depp are having sex, and
fuck that. Fuck.
There's nothing you can say or do about it.
I've been advocating for someone taking Twitter away from Donald Trump, but Shit, I feel like these are personal attacks from J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling just like puts at the bottom of the between parentheses like "fuck you, Bobby."
For real. Okay. Like I said, I have no problem with any like Hermione being black or Dumbledore being gay. Just write it in the book if you want it to be that way. Don't add it after.
Yeah,
Don't add it after because it's just going to be seen as like a publicity thing and not, real.
yeah.
And don't taint my childhood series like that.
I mean,
Meanie?
to Miss J.K. Rowling's credit, she's donated a lot of money to charity. She's not a bad
Hey.
person, but she's
She's a
drinks.
bad person with Twitter.
She drinks too much wine, I think, is the end assumption.
Well, yeah. Well, we can't really call her a drunk because that's like slander, right? So,
No, you can. It's fine.
well, regardless,
Our legal team will work it out.
yeah, right. Freaking intense sexual relationship. What the hell?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, J.K., you take care now. You have a nice day.
I feel like it's not helping a lot of people that enjoyed the series over time be like, yeah, I love that series. I'm gonna let my kids read it. Now they're gonna go back and be like, the author's kind of a kook. Jesus.
Hold on.
In fucking in different news though, but still kind of bizarre. Do you see that kid that just smacked an egg on that politician's head?
Oh yeah. I mean, at first I was like, "Oh, that's not cool," but then I guess the backstory behind it made it seem like, "Oh no, it's fine."
Yeah, so the general story that I've read and heard, I haven't looked too much into it just because it was kind of I didn't think it was true at first, if I'm going to be honest.
I thought it was like
So-
staged.
Yeah, so there was this, I guess, really racist politician that was. This is right after one of the mass shootings. I'm not going to talk about it because
We're not gonna talk about it.
we're not going to talk about it. Media coverage doesn't deserve. The media shouldn't cover this kind of shit. Not going to say the name, none of that bullshit. Anyways, he was basically just being really racist, anti a lot of people, and kind of saying like the immigration was being really racist.
Yeah.
Really racist. So kid just smacks an egg on the head, and the guy turns around and punches him in the face.
Mm.
And the kid just like, okay, and kind of shrugs it off, whatever. And this video gets out, it goes viral, and I think the prime minister of where'd this take place? Is it New Zealand or Australia?
Yeah, I think Australia in this case.
So yeah, the Australian prime minister is actually advocating to have that politician receive some form of formal punishment for hitting the kid.
I'd say
And you would
so.
think, well, he did egg him, but at the same time, he was being a dick. So it's like, logically, you can't take either side just because they're both in the wrong. But that politician's still a scumbag, and that kid egged him.
Well, that kid on Twitter is a hero at this point for a lot of people.
Well,
But-
yeah, actually, he received a lot of like money, I guess, for it, and he's donating it to charity, from what I read, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm alright with that. I'm alright with this kid.
Yeah, honestly, what do you think the reaction would be if someone just waltzed up to Donald Trump and just smacked him in the forehead with an egg?
Oh my god. You can't do this.
That's pretty accurate, really.
And then like a security guard comes out of the woodworks and like
Fucking
snaps.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's the king.
Yeah, Stone Cold's the kid and the kid's out cold and Donald's like, it's fine. I'm so done with politics.
I'm just done in general. This world sucks at the moment.
I wouldn't say that. I think there's a lot of good in the world, but I do agree that there's a lot of negative in the world.
I just hate that the media primarily covers the negative, so it just makes me feel like I'm living in a very dark world.
Yeah, I agree. I put on my cape and I put on my black eyeliner and I live in the shadows.
Let me go break out my old My Chemical Romance posters and shit.
Woo! Bust them out, baby.
I say that as if I had them at one point, but they were definitely before my time.
Yeah. They were our time. They were pretty prime time for us.
Well, we kind of got like the tail end, really.
I don't know, because they were early 2000s. They were like early to mid 2000s. Well, at least it was prime time for me.
We were fucking 5 and 6 in the mid 2000s.
5 and 6? No, a little older.
So 2005, mid 2000s, born in 98 and 99.
Seven
Five
and
and
six.
six.
7 and 6.
What the fuck's okay? Regardless, I think they're before my time.
I'm I'm saying even if they're before my time, they are prime time for me. Because that was
Well,
all
I'm
I
not
listened
saying
to.
Welcome to the Black Parade wasn't a slapper back then or anything.
Oh, I'm not
But
discrediting it.
no, no. I love how this came up of my metaphorical, My Chemical Romance posters.
What?
What
Yeah.
else is pretty edgy along that line? Black eyeliner and nail
Uh,
polish and shit. What's like
Cloaks.
punk emo?
Cloaks.
Close. Ooh, like get that like pin straight hair that kind of just forms a cone over your head.
Yes. A nice silky bowl cut.
Well, see, they're not bowl cuts. They're like advanced bowl cuts.
No,
They're
you're
like,
right. They're cone
you know,
cuts.
yeah, sure. And
It's,
then I guess I gotta like dye my hair black, right? And then bleach part of it,
hmm
and then dye that a different color, like pink, blue,
Oh,
green,
that's true. You could
purple.
do that. A little bit of raw XD on your MySpace page.
Oh, you're right. Snake bite piercings
Snake
as
bite
well on my lip.
piercings. Snake bite piercing's not bad. Oh,
Gauges.
Junko jeans.
Junko jeans.
And
Fuck,
and
dude.
also the
I remember the first time I saw those in real life.
yeah, they're terrifying. The big
Honestly.
black baggy pants with chains everywhere.
Oh, the chain belts. The chain
Chain
belts.
belts, yes.
Oh, I rocked the chain belt for 2 years of my middle school life.
Did you? I could
I
yeah, I could
did.
see it. I could see it. Nothing, no shame in that, but
I thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like connected on a chain, so I won't ever drop my wallet.
it works if you're a biker nowadays, but I think that's the only case where you can get away with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I might try and bring it back. You know me as the trendsetter.
That's true. That's very true.
That's true. What
Um,
else? Like, what about those like combat boots
combat
and
boots, skull
or like
wallets.
Converses as well?
Yeah, Converse. Like they had to be the black Converse, but they could have been edgy, depending on who wore them.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Dark, the edgy shoes.
Oh, the Osiris's. That was
Yeah. Oh
that was
boy.
one.
Yeah, and DCs were pretty edgy.
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna lie.
DC's too. I had a pair
That
of
brand
DC's.
kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Well, yeah, it was a skate brand. Skating, I feel like, it's kind of fallen off, but
Yeah, that's true.
that could
That's
just be because
true.
I'm not
Oh.
into it.
What about those like belts that had those like shiny like plates along the whole thing?
Oh, were they
You know what I'm talking about?
they were like kind of bedazzled, but it wasn't like sparkly bedazzled.
Yeah, it was essentially like a rhinestone belt
Yes,
that had like
rhinestone.
these just just colored squares lining the whole thing. Like
Yeah, they'd
the whole
alternate
thing.
like purple and black kind of thing.
yeah, yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. It's funny because like all these things we're mentioning, I can picture two kids that were in my middle school classes wearing them every single day.
Oh yeah, that's a definite. That's a definite.
And I'm like, hey, you do you, man. I wore fucking basketball shorts and a Red Sox t-shirt every single day.
Jeez, you were one of those kids.
I was not an attractive kid, believe it or not.
That see, jeez, and look at you now. Talk about a glow up.
Ooh, wrong guy.
Right guy.
Wrong guy.
Really? Though, I'm trying to think. The whole like basketball shorts and like thing. I remember when it just started, and it just seemed like it came out of nowhere.
I feel
Like it was just.
oh, I was gonna say, I feel like it's always been a thing, because I remember doing it since like or like elementary school, but I remember in middle school I evolved into socks with sandals every day.
Oh, see, that's like when did that start? Like in my head, like it was just everyone was wearing those colored tight skinny jeans and
yep.
shit like that, and those basically there was like that whole like jerking movement. It's like a dance stuff.
No, the
thing.
other one.
Yeah, jerking. Let's call it like that. And like a whole style wave came in with that, like colored skinny jeans, this kind of like these specific kind of shoes and all that shit.
Oh, Velados.
And then like, yes.
I
Jesus
remember it all,
Christ.
man. I remember it way too well.
Well, and then like that just died, and in came like gym attire.
Yeah, it lasted for me, beginning or end of 6th grade into the beginning of 8th grade, and then it just fell off immediately.
and it's a lot of people held up that style through high school as well, which is weird
Yeah.
to me. See, I
But
don't know about you, but I was brought up to where like the only time you wear like gym attire is if you're at like a sporting game. Like I sound like I'm 90 at a
mhm.
sports game, or you're at the gym. Like in my family, it was like if you wore the kind of stuff out in public, it was like kind of like seen as almost like trashy almost. You know, not to hate on people that did wear it like that. It's just like that's just kind of like the stigma that my parents had. Like
Yeah.
no sweatpants or gym shorts out. You know, if you're not actually using them, type
Yeah,
of deal.
I could see it because it kind of you just kind of look lazy when you're going out like that. Like I gotta run out for one thing kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's more acceptable nowadays. I think
Yeah,
everything's
nowadays it's
acceptable.
definitely fine. Well, yeah.
You can do anything you want
No,
at
you
this
can only
point.
wear cloaks and shit now.
We gotta stop.
Yeah, let's bring back like the 18th century clothing. I want 18 layers that take 2 hours to put on in the morning.
No, I think we're good. I really appreciate the sentiment and I appreciate where your head's at, but I'm going to
You don't want socks for your pants for your
no,
socks?
no, thank you. I really do appreciate it though, but if you could get that the fuck away from me, I would greatly appreciate it. Um, Anywho,
Catch me in a cape.
we were talking about the kid that egged the politician, right?
Yeah, well, I mean that's pretty much all it really was. Kid egged politician.
Oh, I know.
People are siding with the kid, and people are like, "Wait, but he." The people that are on the politician's side, you know, the racist politician, are
Yeah.
like, "What the hell, man? He egged it," and the other people are like, "That kid egged a racist."
Yeah, exactly. And like the people that are for the politician are like, I would never.
Yeah, like it's comical because they're like so serious about it, and the
Yeah.
people that just support the kid are like, yeah, you fuck that guy,
Fucking idiot.
yeah. Look at egg on the face, egg on the face.
Literally.
And they're getting more frustrated because the other side is not taking it seriously, it seems.
I love that in arguments.
Dude, it's so hard to argue with someone that doesn't give a fuck.
That's the approach I always take when I get in an argument. It's just like, I don't care. You can yell at whatever you want.
Dude, I get flustered.
I know.
That's
It's so
when
funny
you
to me.
that's when you engage in operation, just keep arguing until they say they don't want to argue anymore because that's a metaphorical win.
Yep. I will not lose. And it's like,
that-
well, you can't lose if the other person doesn't care, and you're like, I don't care. I'm still winning. It's like,
Dude, that's it for me. As soon as someone like takes that like I don't care approach to an argument but still tries to argue, like the high road doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
Just that route gone. There is no retreating from that argument whatsoever. Only forward.
Yeah. Just beat the dead horse.
Pretty much. Like as soon as that happens, I'm just like, fuck it, fuck it. I just get so mad.
I feel that.
Man.
Other cool
Yeah,
thing. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying kid egg politician enough times before we could segue into something else.
Well, good thing.
Good thing.
Disney reinstates James Gunn as the director for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes, thank
Which-
God. Honestly, so the cast also like boycotted it as well because of him. The guy who plays Drax, I don't know what his name is. Steven. What's the guy who played Drax?
Here, hold on, I'll look it up.
I think it's Dave Bautista.
Oh yeah,
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
I want to say, and he was a very big advocate for getting James Gunn back on the project.
Yeah.
So I know, like specifically, he was highlighted out of the cast members for it. So
Well, I know.
good job to him.
I know, like some of the cast that didn't have anything to do with him. It just had to do with like saving face for themselves. That they didn't support a pedophile, alt right, whatever. That the jokes he made back in like fucking 2003, 2004, or 14,
Well, actually,
13.
the majority of the cast like supported him. It seemed like when like this first came to light.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people were. I think the general consensus was like this was way back when. I mean, look at most of them were saying, well, I mean, didn't Disney make those Hitler animations back in the day?
That's true.
And then Disney was like, ah, no, what? No,
Us?
no.
You mean James Gunn made Hitler animations? It's like,
Keep fucking talking like that, and your contract will get sliced.
yeah, literally. But
But yeah, so he's back on the project, which is really cool because I mean, I don't really like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I wasn't a big fan of them in general. Like, I like the Marvel superhero aspect. I wasn't really into the space crime fighter
yeah,
aspect.
I thought it was a fun movie, and that's
You know,
all it was.
it's definitely a fun movie, and I think it's just because James Gunn's just a really good director. I think he did a good job on the project. I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 would have held up to the other two without him
Oh,
on
I
the
disagree.
project.
Or nah, I agree. I didn't mean to say I disagree. But
Like he's a talented director, at least in my unprofessional eyes. That
yeah,
is
no, I agree. I mean, he's also doing Suicide Squad 2, which
the reboot.
first Suicide Squad made a fuck ton of money for no reason. That movie, bad, very bad.
Want
My
Want to know
opinion.
why?
Margot Robbie.
Because they
Just
clickbait
kidding.
Margaret Robbie in the trailers.
That's true, and they sold way too much merchandise to the edgy kids we were talking about earlier.
I actually have a Joker T-shirt somewhere
Of course you do. You.
that one of my family members is like, "You like the superheroes, right?
Yes, Grandma.
It's
I
from
like
that
this.
new movie."
Yes, Grandma. I like the superheroes.
Yeah, pretty much that's how it was.
But
But
I guess they're like kind of entirely rebooting it. Like,
yeah, it's a complete like they're just like run it back, trial run over.
yeah, like Will Smith isn't playing Deadshot anymore, and
I thought he did a good job as Deadshot.
he did
Actually,
no, he did good. But it's I always have the issue of when I see Will Smith in like serious roles that isn't like I Am Legend. I'm just like, that's he's a Fresh Prince. That was him. Like I have a hard time taking Will Smith seriously.
huh? Okay, I feel like you said, like obviously I Am Legend's like an exception from that, but
Like
like
I think he's a great
Hancock
actor.
was pretty good, I thought, or Hitchcock, where the hell that was called.
Hancock. Yes, that
Yeah,
was good.
Hancock. Like that was a good movie. I thought he played that role really good. Trying like that wasn't serious though. That was comedy. Is
Yeah.
there any other serious roles?
I don't know. I mean, like,
He was in Hitch, but that was a comedy.
yeah, like him as Deadshot is like he definitely did a good job because he's a good actor, but it just didn't feel like that was the role for him. But
Interesting.
the guy, I can't remember the name of the guy they got to play him, but he fits the role a lot better.
Really?
Yeah, I'll find it and slap it in later.
Well, the only people that I saw like that were confirmed for Suicide Squad 2 were Margaret Robbie and do you remember like that combat army guy?
Oh yeah, I saw that. And
I believe his name was like Joel something Kinnaman, I think.
yeah, and I know they're getting because I guess a lot of the heroes died, or quote unquote heroes, but a lot of people in Suicide Squad died. So they're
Did they?
yeah, or some people, or I don't know if
I
I
honestly I kind of blacked out the last 20 minutes from my memory of that
honestly I
movie.
don't remember the fucking end of the movie now that I'm like thinking about it. But I remember them saying that they're getting rid of some of the people and replacing them with just like really weird villains, like really abstract villains.
You know, fuck it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean like restart it. I'm a-okay with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's potential, I guess, for them to not only like play off that Suicide Squad name, but just actually do a good job.
Yeah, can't I can't say I really care for Leto's Joker. I didn't like that at all, but we'll see what
You
happens.
know, I feel like I just didn't like he didn't have enough screen time to really like say if he did a good or bad job. And
I
like,
think it's okay that he didn't get enough screen time.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like for like the time he did have on screen, like for the Joker, the Joker character type that they chose for this movie, I felt like he did a good job with that. It's just not the Joker I like.
Yeah, well that's my thing is I don't like any Joker that isn't Heath Ledger's Joker.
Well, I'm
And I feel
interested to see where Joaquin's goes.
yeah, that should be interesting. I don't know when that's actually coming out, but
2019, I think.
do you think so?
I think it's this movie actually. Or did I just say this movie?
Yeah, you did, and that's why I was like, try again.
I'm pretty sure that it's this year. Yeah, it comes out in October,
Oh,
October 4th.
okay.
I wonder if they'll get him to play. No, no, probably not.
No, but
Yeah,
that's
probably.
okay. I mean, regardless, glad James Gunn is back. I think the whole resurface tweets, it's just so stupid.
Well,
Like
okay,
with
so
everyone it happens to.
I agree. Like, I think people should be held accountable for the stuff that they have said in the past, because just because it's in the past doesn't mean they didn't say it. But at the same, like, I've said some fucked up things in the past. All our friends know it. A lot of people that I went to school with also probably heard me say some pretty interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too bad, but regardless, like, I still kind of agree with you. I said that I feel people should be held accountable. I don't feel like that should have been, like, I don't think it should have been his job at stake, really, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, James Gunn didn't receive the proper backlash because people were like, wait. Firing him's a little much, Disney. Little much.
Well, it is Disney, and they gotta save face as Disney. So
yeah, they can definitely say, like I said, those really, really racist cartoons from not that long ago could always,
yeah.
like, I don't know why people don't really ever acknowledge those when it comes to, like, when people say Disney's saving face.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my whole thing is, like, you're not the same person you were 3-4 years ago, and also, like, I don't want to say the meta of comedy, but some jokes work back then that don't work anymore in light of like what happens.
Like, for example, it was perfectly fine way back when to call something. Well, I don't want to say perfectly fine because it still offended people, but it wasn't like that socially bad to be like, oh, that's gay, for instance.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was like middle school. You'd say that, and it didn't carry any weight. But fast forward a few years, and now it's not good by any means. But like, obviously, like, rape jokes aren't funny, and I think those are some that he made. But it's a joke, and the way
exactly back then, like comedians even, like, rape was, I don't want to say rape was funny, but like that was a topic that was on the table to joke about back then. At least in my eyes, it was, because that's what I saw from comedy back then.
Yeah, I don't. The way I see like how comedy should be is when you turn, like, say something serious in the light of, oh, now it's comedy. I feel like for the most part it should lose the serious aspect to it, because it's not being made fun of. It's just spun around in a way that gives people happiness or like makes people laugh.
Like, that's kind of like the thing, right? That's like a perfect world, right?
Yeah, like, obviously people are gonna get offended, but
yeah, like, a joke's made to be a joke. If the joke's designed to make someone feel offended, it'll make people feel offended. But the people that aren't offended will be the people that laugh at it. So, like, it's always going to be a hit or miss with a joke.
Yeah,
a joke that landed 2 years ago won't land now. We already discussed that. Side note. Did you know that James Gunn is responsible for those live-action Scooby-Doo movies in terms of directing?
No fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He directed Scooby-Doo the movie and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Holy shit. James Gunn has now moved up a couple notches on my tier list.
Honestly, yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, I think he's a great director and all that. Like, I had no clue he
I had no man that this beautiful man was responsible for the Scooby-Doo movies.
Hell yeah. Honestly, they're the only reason why I'm alive today. Now that's extreme.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that one's a little debatable. I probably could have lived without them. It's not that they were good, but they are actually hilarious.
No, they're a gemstone. Whether it has value or not, strictly up to you.
Yeah. It's all perspective.
He's 52 as well.
Huh?
He's a lot older than I thought. He's 52.
Yeah, it doesn't really look it.
Seriously?
No.
Seriously?
What? Kind of just looks middle-aged.
Yeah, he looks like
he's got a cool haircut in a lot of the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be like 40 or something. Actually.
Yeah, like a really hip philosophy teacher.
That's very true, actually.
But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he's back on board, and he's the director for Suicide Squad 2, which is interesting. Has there been directors that have done both Marvel and DC?
No, I think he's the first. But it's interesting because the news of him doing Suicide Squad came out before he was reinstated for Guardians of the Galaxy, so it kind of looked like from the outside, like, oh, he's switching sides, like it's a big fuck you. But obviously I don't think that was the case. I think it was just like, I feel like if anybody's going to turn any DC movie into a good movie, he has a good shot at it.
Oh, well,
It's hard to say. Hard to say.
Honestly, I'm interested to see like how the DC side works out. Like, I'm not interested in Marvel because it does work out, but DC's is so. I've said hit or miss enough times this episode, but it's so hit or miss, man.
No, I agree. I'm with you.
Like Wonder Woman, great. What was before Wonder Woman? Shit.
Um, couldn't tell you.
Superman, Batman versus Superman. Honestly, I thought it was okay. Didn't think that was that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. It was a satisfying watch. And then after Wonder Woman, you had Justice League apparently, which I'm still convinced didn't actually happen because I have no clue how that could have actually gone to DVD without me even realizing it.
Yeah.
Like, I dead ass thought to myself one day, I wonder when that Justice League movie's coming out. You know, just randomly one day, and Googled it, and it was on fucking video. Like, I could have bought that shit on Amazon already.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good use of your money, to be fair,
Well,
though.
the point I'm trying to make is, obviously it wasn't good. And then Aquaman came after that, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
track record's a little iffy.
we take what we can get.
Huh. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I guess.
speaking of take what you can get, how would you like to get into college? Any college you want.
Well, okay. I wish I could get any college I want, but the problem right there is money. And scholarships are something that I've seen my friends stress over, so I really don't want to set myself up for that.
Well, hey, just talk to oh, what's this guy's name? William Rick Singer, and he'll get you into college. Because
Jeez.
there was a whole cheating college scandal that had a bunch of like wealthy people in it, and including my favorite, Becky from Full House. Or was it Becky? Oh, fuck. Hold on. We gotta
The
do
older
some
sister, right?
Nope. We gotta do some research.
Steven!
No, it was the mom.
The mom? There was no mom.
Yeah, no, she was married to Jesse.
That's not the mom.
Yeah, it is.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I gotta double check this because I'm pretty sure.
I'm not very up to date.
Rebecca, her name was Rebecca.
Okay.
Lori Lolan. Her name was
Okay,
Rebecca.
so yeah. Lori Lolan, and I think the other person in the scandal is like Felicity
Huffman.
Huffman
Yep.
on this article. So
Hey.
basically, what it is they cheated the system. I think they cheated the admissions process. I'm not sure like after that how much was cheated, but like basically like they bought their kids way.
Yeah, well, not only their kids, they bought like 750 families into college.
Jeez, the ringleader behind a $25 million college admissions scam that implicated dozens of people, including Hollywood actress Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman.
Yep. And I know Lori, cause apparently Fuller House is still going on, but she got dropped like immediately from that. And I'm pretty sure anything that she was a part of, she's out of now. It's just kind of goes to show you that if you're rich, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it boosted. It says basically he was paid to boost their chances of getting into the schools.
Yeah, which AKA
Means he took their money and put them in.
yeah, literally.
So
just,
this article says, according to investigators, parents paid Singer millions to boost their kids' chance of getting into schools such as Yale University, Stanford University, Georgetown University by paying people to take tests for their children, bribing test administrators to allow that to happen, and bribing college coaches to identify the applicants as athletes.
Yeah.
So, realistically, since this came to light, I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, see, America's education system is so flawed, yada yada yada. The thing is, like, this wasn't like they went to the school's administration, or not administration board. Obviously, he went to the administration board and paid some of them off. But It's not like the whole university is involved in this. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was a series of bribes that had to pay out to get the person in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like colleges and whatnot are all cynical and filled with people that I guess I don't know. What I'm basically trying to say is don't get too up in arms about it. Like, yeah, bribing people has happened. You can bribe your way into government. You can bribe your way into school. Like that's gonna happen because you start small, like this guy did, with paying people to take the tests, paying people like basically paid people to make it seem legit. That's the thing. People are looking at this thing as if he just went to the school and said, "Hey, here's money. Take this person."
I mean,
that's not what happened. Like it was a process.
it's kind of what he did. If you just like shrink it down and just ignore a lot of
Well,
things. I mean, all right. My thing is like, if you don't think that this has been happening for a long time, you're
yeah,
ignorant. First off,
yeah. Like it's touched on even in movies. That it's got to be said about something. Like that means it's got to be real, at least in some light, right?
yeah. Like this isn't a new thing. It's just somebody finally got caught for it. It's just
Yeah, like
money. You could do whatever the fuck you want if you got millions of dollars, honestly. And it's so
all I'm
sad.
saying is that clearly money leads to happiness, Dan. It's a callback to one of our early episodes, but
Well,
all I'm saying
he's
is,
in prison now, and she lost everything that she worked for. So you tell
well, that's
me
because
how happy she is.
they got greedy and thought money could do everything.
You just kind of went against yourself.
Not really.
You just
Not,
'cause you said money can do
uh,
everything. Money can buy happiness.
well,
And money buy
because money
happiness.
can buy happiness. It just means
Mm-mm.
that,
Mm-mm.
like just because you can go on the dark web and like buy a person, and that could make you happy. That still doesn't make it right? But you still could.
No, you're right. But I think well, we won't get into it. I'm just saying
You know,
you can
you
do
know,
whatever you
you're
want with
right.
money, but it doesn't mean you're gonna be happy.
Sorry about that. I've tried to mute my mic as quick as possible.
You almost did. It sounded like it sounded like I don't even know what to fucking make
I
it.
went to go cover my mouth before I muted.
It sounded like a ship was taking off, and then the audio got cut. Oh, that
I was
was.
like, "Oh no!" So there is that side too. That doesn't make it right, but there is like a more human side to it as well. It's not just the wealthy are evil.
I wasn't saying that they're evil. I'm just saying people don't know what to do with themselves when they have so much money, and then they do stupid things
Mm.
because they just want more and more and more.
Jeez. The guy who I guess ringleadered all faces a sentence of 65 years if
Yeah,
if
good.
convicted. And he's 58, so that's like, all of it.
Yeah, that's life. He's gone. That's
According to this article, some parents spent between 200,000 and 6.5 million to ensure their children would get into the schools.
that is not. Well, actually, no. If you have that much money, then I guess it doesn't fucking matter. But that just does not seem worth it. I guess it depends on what your kid's doing. Yeah, fuck it. Do what you want. Do what you want with your 6 point whatever $1 million.
It sucks cuz like the situation itself just like obviously it shines a light on like a corrupt system in general that like obviously this shouldn't be able to happen.
Mm.
But as we know, people are swayed by money. That's not an uncommon thing. It's not an uncommon theme either
Yeah, pretty
in real
prevalent.
life and in fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
So it sucks because it makes me feel like going to school is, or rather, me as a college student who is in school, kind of makes me feel like shit to think of like people can buy their way in, and it's not all based on merit. Like
I mean,
the optimist in me hopes it is.
yeah, that's life and everything, though.
But
But,
yeah, that's true. College
but
is overpriced anyways. Fuck that.
yeah, get Bernie in free college.
Well,
Not really. It's not logical.
I mean, it could work, but the problem is like it would just kind of highlight other issues
Yeah,
at the moment. And I think I've talked about that on the podcast already, but realistically, like if free college were to go through, that's just more taxes that we have to pay, which doesn't help other people. So unless other things are put into place before that or very quickly after that, it's could be pretty damaging to our economy. At least in my unprofessional opinion, because that's important. I am not professional.
I'm glad you're highlighting it. Maybe someday, if you put your head to it.
So, question now:
Yes.
if you had the opportunity to have your college bought in, or to be bought into college, which college would you pick?
Like USC maybe.
What's
I
that
don't.
stand for?
University of Southern California.
Okay, okay. I'm ignorant. Don't mind me.
Just maybe not well versed, I suppose. But I don't.
Uh,
I don't. There's no. Doesn't matter to me because I wouldn't just buy myself into school to go for something I
mm.
don't know what I want to get.
Well, see, my thing is like, so say I got bought into Yale or Stanford because those are the ones this article highlights. Those are pretty Ivy League, yeah.
Yep, those are
Like I
Ivy.
would get in there and people would instantly be like, "How the fuck did this kid get in?
Yeah. Well, that's
What is he doing here?"
yeah. I mean, like for those like Ivy League schools, yeah, you got to be smart, but you also just have to have the fucking money to be able to afford it.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, I. It's probably not what it's like, but I imagine people that go to those like quote rich schools are like, "Oh, let's go spend the weekend in Tahiti." And I'd be like, "No thanks, I'm living off of ramen." And they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, why don't you just have your private chef?" Like I don't know if that's how it works, but you know.
I doubt it, and it's pretty insensitive to rich people, Bobby. They have it hard, you know. They got to pay a lot of taxes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I remember that. I had a childhood friend from the family who had like a wealthier parents. And his logic was always flawed when it was like, "Hey, let's go buy this game." I'm like, "Oof, don't have the money."
Mm.
You know, picture me being 6 and saying that, but or 7. And then him then going, "Why don't you ask your parents?" And I'd be like, "Well, okay, I'll go ask." And then I came back with yeah, they said no, and he just not being able to comprehend that.
Yeah.
That kind of like set the tone for other rich kids for me. So I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
No, I feel the same way. Where definitely had kids where it's like, well, why don't you just buy it? And it's like, well, you see, there's a thing called we aren't swimming in fucking solid gold bricks, Steven.
God. Our, our internet guy,
Yeah,
Steven's from a rich family. He's doing this out of the kindness of his heart.
what a nice
Now get
guy.
back in your cage, you fucking gremlin.
Jesus, a little harsh.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna say very quietly. We can't let him know that he's
He's wealthy.
not subhuman.
Oh,
We can't let him know that he has other options.
I don't like.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
we're
like
all
this.
you got, buddy. We're
I,
all you got.
I don't like this twist. Last thing I wanted
It's
to
okay.
touch on.
He's nicely kept.
That's good. Last thing I wanted to touch on. Danny DeVito almost voiced Detective Pikachu. Now I didn't know this, so you're gonna have to fill me in on this.
Well, I mean, kind of that's actually literally it. Is during the early like testing and voice testing and whatever and all that, I guess he was just brought in as a potential voice for Detective Pikachu. That's all I really found. There was not much to it. It's just, could you imagine? So Ryan Reynolds isn't now. Could you imagine just like, "I'm the trash man" being Pikachu?
Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito would.
The sexiest man on earth.
He would scare me as Pikachu just because of the raw masculinity that he exuberates, and
Exuberant.
I'd be too scared to listen to him.
Honestly, he's about the size of. No, he's not about the size of Pikachu, but he's pretty close. Pretty
I
close.
yeah, he's like a Raichu.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah,
Little
but
boy. But yeah, I thought that was just an interesting little tidbit that I read from this week for you folks. Like, Danny DeVito could have been Detective Pikachu.
yeah, some light, some cute.
Yeah, something a little light. Actually, in that not in the same vein, really, but in the lighter news, if you guys remember from way back when we were talking about Tumblr banning porn from their site, so since then they have lost almost 100 million site visits after that porn ban.
That's insane.
That is an astronomical amount for a website. Like that like hurts them as a business.
Maybe they just because Tumblr's seen as kind of like the hipster social media, and maybe they really wanted to cement that they were the hipster social media by losing everybody.
You know, I never saw them as the hipster social media ever. Actually, I thought Tumblr was strictly for like I don't say weird people, but people that were pretty into like a specific fandom or thing. Like I feel like no one just browsed Tumblr at first to browse Tumblr. I feel like you got on Tumblr because like a specific hobby or niche thing that you enjoy just happens to be popular there.
Yeah, that could definitely be it.
Like porn.
Like porn. Porn was great there. You could find a lot of good stuff. Tragically, you can't anymore.
Well, you can't anymore, and I guess you're one of the almost 100 million that they lost.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't go on Tumblr for porn. I was like, I had my niche things that I like to look at, and there was a couple artists that posted like directly to Tumblr, so I was like, oh, sick. And that's what I would go there for, but I haven't gone on Tumblr in like months, regardless of the porn ban, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But I found that also kind of comical.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Yeah, they definitely shot themselves in the foot, and I remember their like response, wasn't it as well? Like, it won't be like, weren't they like projecting it not to be that bad either?
Yeah, I think they were pretty like, oh no, it'll be fine, and then when it happened, it was not. Believe it or not.
Yeah, don't take away our porn.
Give me back my porn.
Jeez, don't take away my porn.
Don't take.
That's not something I ever foresaw myself saying.
It's a life motto for some.
Don't take away my porn.
Do you want to start wrapping this up?
Give me a countdown.
Whenever you're ready, Chief.
I asked for a countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready the thrusters.
I'm kicking in overdrive.
We're going to the outro.
It's coming. All right, folks. That has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 20. Can you believe that? 20 episodes, 20 weeks straight of doing the Frying Pan Podcast. And it's been a joy.
Yeah,
my friend. And all of you, because we appreciate each and every one of you, because we're doing this to get better. We enjoy it, as Dan already said at the beginning. He looks forward to it. I look forward to it. And we just want to get better at this overall. So thank you for being here all this time if you've been along from the beginning. And if not, thank you for coming along for the ride. And if you're new just even to this episode, hey, maybe stay a while. Take off your shoes. We got tea. So, once again, that has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 20. We have social media. As you guys know, we're on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle for those is the Frying Pan Pod. Give us a follow there. We tweet out. We Instagram post. Give us a like on those. We'd appreciate it. You can also send us over some messages there as well, like if you have any form of inquiries or questions or comments or anything like that. Constructive criticism. I always talk about that. We appreciate that. And if you're listening to us right now, which you would have to be, because paradoxically, if you have to be, you're probably on some of these audio platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube, or Podbean, actually. And if you're listening on those, thanks. We appreciate it. Give us a like, give us a star rating, give us a comment. We appreciate it. And you can also send us over any form of business inquiries, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, to this email right here, and it's inthepanpodcast@gmail.com. And for the last time, this has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 20. I've been Robert D'Onofrio.
I've been Daniel.
And thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great day. Just be good people. Make a difference. Share 2 positive things with someone in your life today that you're listening to.
Wholesome. I like that.
Yeah. See you, folks.
Later.